You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These are not people. These are animals. And we're taking them out of a country at a level and a rate that's never happened before. This is a quote from none other than the current president of the United States at an immigration roundtable meeting on May 16th. Don't be confused though, he was talking about people, he was just talking about immigrants. Imagine your mom, dad, brother, anyone you're close to. You can't see them again. When will you be able to see them again, you ask? No one has this answer for you. This is what numerous immigrant families go through constantly. So are we saying that feelings and child development only matter if you're American? Immigration policies are causing a divide between families that cannot be ignored. First, these policies are simply separating families. Second, the current immigration system that is in place does not allow for secure attachment between children and parents that is crucial for child development. And finally, there must be a change in this international policy in order to maintain family relations and abide by basic human rights. I know a lot of people have opinions about this hot topic, but today we're simply sticking to the facts and statistics. People that cross the American border legally are being separated at higher rates than ever before. In an article about immigrant parents being deported, John Wiley states that this spring, hundreds of children were separated from their parents while trying to cross the southern border into the United States. These separations were part of a Trump administration zero-tolerance policy against immigrants. This quote introduces the fact that families are in fact being separated and leads me to some very important statistics. The same article states that 463 parents are under review. Meanwhile, 879 parents have recently been reunited with their children. That's over 1,000 families that have been separated for trying to come into a free country. 538 parents are still under review. This is something that needs to be addressed. Too many parents are living without their children, and too many children are living without their parents. But what does this mean for the child? Let's forget about the parent for a second and just focus on the child. Children need firm and secure attachments to their parents, and this cannot happen if parents are not present due to current immigration policies. According to Dr. Mason, in a different article, the federal government had no system for tracking and identifying these immigrants in order to be reunited with their families. I continued to read into Dr. Mason's article, and he stated that there are numerous alternatives instead of these separation tactics. For example, incarcerated parents who have just had a newborn are allowed to see their baby for a certain amount of time each day for 90 days in order to maintain secure attachment to them. Children need secure attachment, and this cannot happen with the current immigration system. Something obviously needs to change, but can this happen if Trump remains in office? We all know that one of Trump's main goals was to build that wall, but this wall that hasn't even been built yet is already separating so many families and Americans. In an article about the Trump administration's effects on families in America, I read that we have numerous regressive policies. Many of these focus on immigrants. These regressive policies are what's getting Trump in trouble and causing people to call out for help. The same article states that organizations such as the American Family Therapy Academy have taken strong stances in opposition to these policies. If organizations these big have taken stances against these policies, something isn't right. The immigration policy in place today has done worse for America than it has even a glimpse of good. Trump's administration in regard to America is something that, in regard to immigrants, is something that people need to be informed of and stay updated about. The immigration policy has not only separated families, but does not allow for a secure attachment between parents and children, and also calls for reform. This international policy does not care about people currently, and I think that separating America is one thing, but separating families for me is just too far. So are these people bad? Should we call them animals? Should we even care? Those answers are up to you, but you now have the facts and statistics to answer them. Thank you.